another drawing lesson from Drawing Textbook by Bruce McIntyre. Today I'm doing lesson 7, which includes the planet Saturn, a silo, the raised letter T, a barber pole, a four-legged table, and a double flag. Okay, let's get going. The first one is the planet Saturn. I'm going to sit down here. The planet Saturn. We're going to draw a circle, which is our planet. And then you want to draw two rings around it. One of them is, these are obviously these foreshortened circles. The second ring is going to be wider on the edges and narrow on the inner part, just because that shows the depth of the rings. Okay, that's pretty much the whole thing. You can do a little bit of shading here on the bottom or the dark side of the planet, so to speak. If my light's coming from here, then here's my shadows. You can make a little bit of a curved shadow because it is a round planet. Okay, now it's the planet Saturn. That was pretty quick. The silo has, we're going to start with the cylinder part of the silo. So we come down, and with the foreshortened circle, we do the curved front. We want kind of a cone for the top, so there's the bottom of our cone, and there's the top of our silo. That's pretty much the whole silo. We want to add the shading. I like to do the shading again in a kind of a rounded sort. Again, it'll be darker. Let me move my arm this way. It'll be darker along the edge here. On the back, my light is coming from there. I can shade up here too. Darker along the edge there, and a little lighter. A little bit of shading to show our curvy silo here. If we want, we can draw. We actually need some shading on the ground too. From here to there, the back part of the silo. And if we want, we can draw a little bit of scenery in. There's a fence going across the picture example that they have. And the posts on the ground for the fence. And in the background, they actually have a couple hills. There's my hills. I'm going to add some shading to those too. Just a little bit. And this one over here. Again, my sun is coming from here, so we expect this part and this part of the hill to be light. That's our silo. We're on to the third picture, which is the raised letter T. This is pretty easy to make. First of all, you just start with the T. Down and across. And now you're going to outline it by drawing the lines around your T. I'm just going around here. I'm going to go down here and over that way. It's a little shaky looking today, excuse me. That's not so pretty. I'll erase that a little bit. Now you're going to join the ends of your T to the corners. So there's that corner that raises up that part, and that raises up there, and this raises this middle section, and there's our raised letter T. To give it some more depth, I would add some shading on these bottom sides. So to speak, I have the light coming from here. So this, and this will be light if the light's coming from here, and everything else will be in shade. So this is all in shadow, and this is in shadow. And the bottom too will not get any light shining on it. There's our raised letter T. Looks much more raised with the shading on it. Okay, our fourth picture is the barber pole. The barber pole, I'm just going to bring this back over to show you again. The barber pole has a cylinder, a circle, and two of the foreshortened squares, or rectangular squares in this case. So we're going to start with the bottom and work our way up. Starting with the bottom, we have the foreshortened square. And we're just going to do part of it. Here's the front part, and down, and there we go. That's just the front part of the foreshortened square. The last part we're going to do after we put on our cylinder. Here comes our cylinder for our barber pole. We want it to sit in the middle there. Now we can draw the rest of our foreshortened square up front there. Okay? The cylinder, we're also going to stop early because we have to start doing the foreshortened square up top. It's a slightly different one, a slightly smaller one. Again, we're just going to do the front section. These lines are all vertical, but you remember. Okay, up top comes the circle, so we're not going to finish this until we've drawn the circle. Oops, there's my circle, more or less. We can finish off this one, and we can bring up my cylinder the rest of the way. And there's our, well, it's kind of a slanted looking barber pole, but let me make this a little bigger, would make me happier. The light's going to come from the side here again, so I'm going to have this part in shadow. Again, it's a circle, so you can make kind of a round looking shading. This side is going to be in shaded. This side is going to be shaded. Do those easier parts first, and then the whole cylinder here is shaded as well. We need to put the stripes on too, don't we? Because otherwise it wouldn't be a barber pole. So here's, the barber poles are red and white stripes, for those of you that don't know. But we're just going to do, obviously, pencil colored stripes. They spiral around. This pole isn't a barber pole. And let's put in more of our shading there. This would have a little bit of shading down the bottom. And some shading here too. Oh, actually that's way too big. Sorry. Just ignore most of that. Right, because this only is so thick, you know, I only need a little bit of shading on the bottom there. I can have the shading for the pole, but I don't need to get too carried away there. Okay, the underside of the table is going to be darker. Well, not the table, but this foreshortened one up here. I'm going to make that darker and make this darker under here, because this part of the cylinder is underneath there, so it's going to be darker. Okay, and there's our cylinder. Not our cylinder, our barber pole with the foreshortened square with its shadow. The cylinder, another foreshortened square, and the severe up top. All right, let's go on to our four-legged table. The four-legged table, we'll start with the tabletop, and we don't have to do anything special. We're just going to do the foreshortened square. Probably shouldn't have started with that. Here's our square, trying to make all those lines parallel. So this and this should be parallel. And this should be parallel. I'm going to erase again some of that. And we're going to come down. There's our table. There's our tabletop. Lovely. All right, now we have to do the legs. We're going to come down, do one leg, two legs, three legs. Now these back ones are not as long as the front one. That looks very awkward. We're going to then come and do, let's do this leg first. So this goes, see how the table is angled here? The legs down the bottom are going to angle the same way. There's the front leg. Okay. The back legs have to angle the same way. So this one is going to come down this way and go up. And then it's going to go this way, following this line, and go up. And same with this one. It's going to go on the same line there and go up to the table. And then this and this are going to be parallel as well as the top there. And that goes up. All right, there's our table. We can shade it. The light's coming from this side again. So I'm going to shade this leg, which is just as well. It was pretty messy looking. And this leg is going to be shaded. And this leg is shaded. And this side of the table as well. Now, I'm just drawing messy kind of lines here. If you want, you can have a little bit of back leg showing through here. That's going to be very dark. It just gives you a hint that that doesn't look very good there. It looks a little too long. I'm just going to end it there. You can get a hint of the back leg there. Let's get rid of that little piece there. Okay, there we go. There's our four-legged table. Good. The next one is the flag. And the flag is kind of fun to do. I like doing the flag. We're going to draw our flagpole first. There's our flagpole. The flag entails going over this way and then curving back and then curving front and then curving over again and curving out. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 curves. You're going to come down. Wherever you turn, you're going to come down, and you're going to come down the same length for these two as you did this one, because that's how tall my flag is. I should make that a little bit longer, obviously. And this one comes down here. This one goes behind, so you better stop there. You have to stop there, and that one stops there. This we're going to join up in roughly the same type of curve as that one, roughly. And same down here, this is going to be roughly the same curve that I have up here. And then here in the back, I'm going to have at the same height, so this is this long, I'm going to say right about here is the same height here, and that's going to be the back part of our flag. And that's our flag. Isn't that lovely? Going to put a little pedestal down there. All right. And that is lesson number 7.